Hey guys, what's going on? Mark today here from TST Industries, back in the TST garage, the place you know and love, with our 2020 Yamaha MT-03. As you can see, I'm sitting here on a couch. I don't have any tools out. The bike's on the lift, and it doesn't look like we're doing anything because we're not going to be wrenching on the bike today. This episode isn't a episode dedicated to building the bike or working on the bike. We're actually here to talk to you guys, the viewers and the commenters who have been super awesome and leaving these great ideas, questions, comments, and concerns under the build series videos so far, which we absolutely love. You guys have been extremely interactive and extremely engaging, and it's making our job a lot easier in terms of answering some of these questions that the public wants to know about this bike and our plans for it. Now, Bart is here. We have been chatting about this bike, about what we want to do with it, and we do have our ideas. He has one idea, I have another. So before we get into that, we do want to address some of these comments that you all have been leaving firsthand.
The turbo?
Yeah, I don't know if I have the turbo. I might have the turbo one here. But yeah, let's just get right into the comments. I'm gonna read them off as if I were you, the viewers, and Bart's gonna answer them to the best of his ability, and we'll try and have some fun here. So Helmi Setia Buddy wants to know if we can bump the power into 40 horsepower and upgrade the brakes. Nothing else.
That's it?
That's it.
I mean, that's definitely on the list already. That's going to be happening.
Yep.
I have plans to bump the power after I do suspension, brakes, ergonomics, things like that. Things that really matter if you're just looking at lap times and fun factor.
Yeah.
The power is, that's the easiest thing. I'm gonna leave that a little bit.
Especially for us with our works package. I mean,
then you just dump it on, you
yeah,
get to go.
Just literally bolts on and you'll have over 40 horsepower and you can go drink a cup of coffee. All right, Connor Bruno wants to know if we can do a headlight swap because the Transformer's head is terrible. Michael Bay would be disappointed.
I disagree. I love the front. I mean, the only thing I would swap it for is, I don't know, a bigger one like that.
All right.
So maybe what, MT-09?
Yeah, MT-09 would
MT-10?
probably be comparable. MT-10 might be a little too bulky.
Yeah, still, I don't know. It just fits that so well for me.
Leaving it alone. Sorry, Connor.
We may bolt on some stuff, make it look, you know, change the look.
Yeah.
This is one of those platforms where we get into the build and then down the line, we're like, I have this idea. Maybe we can make a commercially available part that all you guys can enjoy that does this.
Jeez,
XYZ.
imagine TST making a headlight.
Wow. No, I don't
Something
know about
that we've been asked about for years. It seems like every other post we have someone asking about a headlight.
I don't know if I could pull the trigger on that, but stay tuned and we'll see.
All right, Eric Wall wants to know, he's looking into an R6 throttle tube. So we actually talked about this after our last episode, after the track day, because there are, there's the ProMotion Rev 2 throttle, quick turn throttle. That's normally the way we go.
Yeah, Domino makes their own version.
Domino makes it. So this is an R6 throttle tube. This is a modification a lot of people talk about in the Yamaha community. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it does a better job of opening and closing the throttle with a shorter throw because the actual reel is larger, so you're pulling more cable. For myself, it doesn't do enough.
Gotcha.
The good thing about doing the R6 throttle tube is that you retain the OEM reel body and the switches.
Yeah.
If you go to something like the Rev 2 from Motion Pro or Domino, you have to replace your on-off switch and your starter switch because they don't come with it.
Yeah.
So that becomes cumbersome for some people.
Yeah.
For myself, like if I'm gonna go rump this around the track or just ride it myself, I expect the throttle to be quick.
Yeah.
And I need the 50mm yellow reel from Motion Pro, and that's basically like, I don't know, 15, 20 degrees.
Yeah, you're
it's
just
like
on, off.
Yeah, and these bikes, they're such low torque that it just feels better to not have to do this.
Gotcha. Yeah, and the R6 throttle tube is a really inexpensive mod. A lot of R6 guys get rid of their OEM ones, so sometimes you can pick them up for under 15 bucks, shipped to your doorstep. You install it, go ride, and it is a world of a difference for people who aren't familiar with that mod. So Eric Wall, that is a great question. I think that you would enjoy it if you're just doing street riding and you're just looking for something with a little less throw on the throttle. I say go for it, man. I have an MT-07. I thought about doing it myself. Yeah, go for it. It's totally doable. Antonio Andres says lose more weight. I don't know if he's talking to me. I'm assuming he's talking to me. I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying, man.
We could all use. We could all stand to lose.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I'm drinking more water. How about that?
That is actually a really good point. That is one of the things I do want to do. I want to focus on ditching a lot of the weight that I know I can shave from building the Super Sport and Super Bike R3s and building a couple other R3s. I know that we could extract a good amount of weight. We could get this thing down to probably 300 pounds, no problem.
Yeah.
And that's not full gas tank. You know, probably like a gallon of fuel in there.
What about a cool tail bag or trunk box for commuters? So this is actually a few people have left this comment. They want this bike, they want to have fun on it, but they do want to have this little like commuter style bike. I know obviously you're a heavy track goer, you do not ride on the street. What do you think about building like some sort of like a FJR 03 or something? I don't know.
To compete with the Versus 300 from Kawasaki, I don't know. That came out of left field, but I like the idea.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, it's definitely a fun commuter bike, just putting around the city, even just taking it to the track. It's such an inviting bike. I know we've said this in every episode, but
how much room do you need in the trunk? Like, where are you going? I don't know if that's enough. So you guys get back to us. Let us know how many cubic feet you need in these bags. No, seriously, like I want to hear what people want.
Yeah, are you looking to do like a cross-country trip, or you just want to pick up a case of beer and some pizza? Let us know.
Like that.
We have a few comments saying make it go faster. We do have one from Bird Eye Portugal that says he also just got the MT-03. He's installing a new exhaust. He wants to know, should he do an ECU flash and a power commander, or just an ECU flash? Will he notice a big difference on a small bike?
Don't do anything but exhaust and some kind of a ECU tune or power commander. You're shortchanging yourself, because the next level up is really, really cheap, like an intake filter at least.
Yeah.
You know, that actually lets the engine breathe better, and then when you're doing the tuning, either through the ECU or power commander, now you're tuning the intake, exhaust, and the fuel delivery. Then you could actually maximize your gains, and you're basically just like 80 or 90 bucks more for the whole thing. But if you're doing a full system, do yourself a favor, get yourself an intake filter, and then also take it to a dyno. Take it to a reputable dyno guy that can actually listen to you and distill from what you say what you want, and then cater to that. And I think that's the best thing you can do to maximize the benefit per amount of money spent there.
Very well said. Video of a full exhaust installation and tuning. DJ Sadie said that. It's probably something we're going to get into. I don't know if we'll do a dedicated installation video, but we will be throwing on an exhaust on this bike, and obviously we will be doing a tune. So that's
my plan.
No problem, we will do that.
My plan is just to do the whole works pack in one video. We already installed the works pack on the 15 Plus and 19 Plus R3. I don't think we're going to get into a lot of detail.
Yeah. Daniel Stacy wants to know if we can color match the daytime running halos on the turn signals to the daytime running lights on the headlight.
Technically it's possible, but we produce like, 1,000 pieces at a time.
Yeah.
To split off another white color would be a little silly, The
way I explain it in working with customers directly is we make those signal components and the running light components for various makes and models. So the running lights on this bike, although the signals are being installed on this bike, you could take those same signals and install them on an MT-07 or a Z900, where those running lights are more of a halogen or a yellow color. So we can't make something that just matches. If we really wanted to, we can make like an RGB style signal where you can have a controller, but that's getting super involved. We don't plan on
hike up the cost.
Yeah, hike up the costs. We want best bang for your buck. So right off the bat, we probably won't color match, just for trying to cover as much of the market as possible, but it is something that is possible. And if anything, we can give you the closest temperature to the running lights of our signals, and you can kind of match your lights to that. So if you have any questions, just email us. Install a crash cage, Matthew Mendez said. So as you can see, we do not have a crash cage, we just have some frame sliders. What are your thoughts on a crash cage? Because we have these frame sliders, and then we have our Evos frame sliders for some of the other models, and then there's actual cages.
I think that to answer the question about a crash cage, it's actually not out of the question. Now, will I be making one? I don't know. That market's sort of saturated, and not a lot of people look for that kind of a component on these bikes. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. We have a few more make it faster and sound better.
It will
tank
happen.
protectors.
It will happen. It will happen.
Here's a good one. As you mentioned, curious to see a functional windscreen installed. Maybe changing the brakes with steel lines and new pads and a little more power. So we did talk about changing the lines out. When we do change the lines, eventually we will change the pads as well. We'll go with some Vesra pads, which we know and love and use for everyday and track use.
RJLs on this bike.
RJLs, absolutely. Shout out to Cormoto. We're going to be installing their steel braided brake lines as well.
I'm going to be ditching the ABS.
Yeah,
That is.
we won't get into that super in depth, but we will be ditching the ABS that comes standard on this bike because they don't sell a version without ABS. And for our use, for street use, keep it. Absolutely. You will find it beneficial, but
I personally like a bike of this size with no ABS.
Yeah.
Or any size, really.
Yep. So that is something we will be getting into. Versys 16060. That is something that we will be addressing. Now the windscreen, that's up for debate. We would like to see something that might stick up a little bit more, but we're looking at function versus form.
It hasn't bothered me yet.
Yeah.
The wind hasn't bothered me yet, but I was stuck in second and third gear at Bushnell.
At a mini bike track, yeah.
Let's see how I feel after I come back from a big track.
Yeah. Trying to chase someone down even on an R3.
Might have a sore neck and be like,
windscreen.
That dude was right.
All right, and lastly, we have a few of these comments. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. Vishrain Games, Jamie Evans, you guys want to see an off-road scrambler from this build series. So that gets into our thoughts. So my thought on this is, sure, why not? Let's build a scrambler style motorcycle. Yamaha does have their XSR line of bikes available. They don't have an XSR 300. Now, to make that a reality, we would have to look into chopping the subframe, making a different attachment, a single seat, getting rid of the tank.
Way different suspension on this bike to take it off road.
Yep.
Way different from what I'm planning.
So that is, I like that idea. I think it's great. I think that's kind of where the market is going with these hyper naked bikes, and even with Kawasaki, they've redesigned the Z900 RS, and it kind of brings that retro styling. I think that is, like I said, where the market is going, in addition to some of these super sport models that are just crazy technology packed into a, tiny little bike. We'll see where this build takes us. Bar has a different idea, and I actually really like his idea as well. What do you think, that? How are you feeling?
I'm a practical guy, and I still ride, fully fared race bikes that we develop. Yeah. I have to go test them.
Yeah.
I haven't raced in a while, but I still ride them, and that's my main love. For this, I just feel like I can go mess with people on the track with this thing and be like, hey, guy on 1000 cc, I can show you my wheel.
Yeah.
And that to me is really fun. So to me, like a fun all-around hooligan build. Not too crazy with the styling changes, maybe paint it TST colors and things like that, but like ergonomics for optimum usage.
Yeah.
To go fast and be agile, take off as much weight as I possibly can while still keeping it looking sleeperish, like it's not all raced out. I am gonna build a motor for this at some point, after I squeeze out whatever I can from everything else. But reeling it back in from that, suspension ergonomics is really like some of my main focus right now. Braking is pretty easy. We already mounted the womet-tech Evos brake lever and clutch levers on there.
Huge improvement.
Yeah, so my feel is already better there. We're gonna ditch the ABS and run lines.
So there you have it. Bart really likes the idea of building a hooligan style bike, something that we could just have a ton of fun on, whether we're at the track or just ripping up and down the street or in a parking lot somewhere. Back in his heyday, he used to be known to lift up a front wheel or two in a closed course area. I like that idea as well. I do like the Scrambler idea. So as we get more into the build, you will start seeing parts go missing, new parts getting added on. This is going to be a revolving door that just continuously spins with the two of us just kind of taking this on and bringing more life to this really awesome bike.
We've got some stuff on order already.
We've got some stuff on order. Next video, we're going to be getting into suspension, brake lines. Stay tuned, guys. We really love all the input. You guys are fantastic. The love that we've been receiving from this build series is just incredible. And we know that a lot of new riders, a lot of older riders getting into the smaller bike scene are finding this bike and finding our build series and asking a lot of questions and looking for us for some expertise and some opinions. So,
anybody calling us Muppets yet?
No Muppets yet.
I gotta thank those guys too. I don't care.
Yeah. Thanks to all the people who dislike our videos too and leave controversial comments, because it does push us to be better and gives us something to talk about on lunch. So for now, this is Mark. We got Bart here. Catch you guys next time, and you guys ride safe.